Alright, for today's homework, I'm going to do 4 problems out of the ones assigned. I'm going to do 2 problems for addition and 2 problems for subtraction when it comes to using elimination to solve systems of linear equations. For the addition, you were assigned problems 4 through 10, so I'm going to go ahead and do problems 6 and 10, which leaves 4 and 8 for you to do. And for the subtractions, you were assigned 12 through 20, and I'm going to go ahead and do 16 and 20, leaving 12, 14, and 18 for you to do. So I'll start with number 6, and that's using addition. So just like any system of linear equations, you're going to be given a pair of equations. And the reason you're going to use addition here is because addition makes sense. 3x plus a negative 3x is a 0. It gets rid of the x variable. If you use subtraction here, nothing would go away. So subtraction, while you can use, it wouldn't yield a result that was useful to us. So we're going to use addition. We're going to add the two equations together. So we have 3x plus a negative 3x. That's a 0 because they're opposites. Negative y plus a 7y. It's going to give us a positive 6y. 30 plus 6, that's 36. 6y equals to 36. Then to isolate y, we're just going to divide both sides by 6. And gone. Or simplified to 1, and obviously the 0 is also gone. 36 divided by 6 is 6. So now we got y. We're not finished yet. We need to find x. To do that, we're going to take this value of y and plug it into either of our two original equations. I think the first one is simpler because the y doesn't have a coefficient in front of it except the minus, and that's simpler than the 7. I think either way it would work in this case, but you could have chosen the second one and I think you would have been just fine. So I'm going to substitute a 6 in front of that negative y, so don't forget to keep the negative. So it's 3x minus 6 equals 30, plus 6 on both sides, gone, or simplified to 1. Divide both sides by 3. And of course, x equals to 12. Our order pair, x first, 12, y second, 6. 12, 6. And that's it for number 6. Moving on to number 10. And number 10, again, you have, as always, a pair of linear equations in a system, which means they have the same variables, which is why all of these tricks work. They have different variables. Well, we wouldn't really be able to do much with them. So again, we're going to use addition because if you add these two together, the negative 8y and the positive 8y, they're going to go away. If you use subtraction, nothing goes away, which is not very useful to us. Addition. So negative 4x plus a 6x, that's a 2x. Negative 8y plus an 8y, that's a 0. Negative 16 plus a negative 8, that's going to be a negative 24. Getting two negative numbers, so you're just going to get a bigger negative value. So 2x equals to 24. You're going to divide both sides by 2. And that simplifies to 1. X equals to negative 24 divided by 2 and negative 12. So that's x. Now we need to find y. And we do that by taking this value of x and substituting it into either the top equation or the bottom equation. Again, it's not going to make much of a difference. I'm going to choose this, and you'll see why in just a second, why I chose the top one. Again, the bottom one would have worked just fine as well, but negative 4 times a negative 12 minus 8y. Actually, maybe the bottom one would have been better. Oh well, it makes no difference. Negative 4 times a negative 12, that's going to be a positive 48 minus 8y. Yeah, the bottom one would have been a better choice, but I guess you see what happens when you choose the wrong one. Just creates a little bit more work for you, or the calculations are sometimes a little bit more difficult. Then to get rid of the negative 48, the positive 48, we're gonna subtract the negative 48 from both sides. Simplifies to 1, so negative 8 is going to equal 2, and it's still going to be a negative number, so you're essentially adding two negative values, and that's going to be negative 64 if my mental math is correct. And then you are going to divide both by a negative 8 to get rid of that negative 8, and it's being multiplied, so you do the opposite. Simplifies to 1. Sorry. And negative divided by negative, you're going to get a positive answer. And then 64 divided by 8 is going to be an 8. So just a positive 8. So now we both have x and y. So we're done. Just create your ordered pair. X goes first, y goes second, and you are finished. So those were two problems done with addition. Now let's do a pair with subtraction. So I think I told you that I was going to solve problems number 16 and 20 from that second set, which is exactly what I'll do. Trying to go for the more difficult ones. 16 is 5x plus 6y equals to 50, and then we have negative x plus 6y equals to 26, and in this case we want to use subtraction because 6y minus 6y is going to give us a 0, and it's going to get rid of the y variable. If we use addition here, nothing would really happen, so subtraction is what we will use. 5x minus a negative x, that's a double negative, so it's the same thing as 5x plus an x, 6x. 6y minus 6y, that's a 0. And then 50 minus 26, that is a 24. Then we're going to divide both sides by 6. Simplifies to 1 on the left side. X equals to 24 divided by 6, which is a 4. So now we got x. We're going to plug it into one of the original equations to get y. You can't really go wrong with which one you choose. I'm going to choose the bottom one. So it's going to be negative 4 plus 6y equals to 26. I think I made the right choice this time. Then you got to add 4 to both sides. Simplifies to 1. Or 0, sorry. 26 plus 4, that's 30. Divide both sides by 6. Simplifies to 1. Y equals to 5. That's it. And our ordered pair is 4, 5. So that was 16. And let's do the last one, which is 20. And remember, at any time you can pause this video and go back if I'm going too fast. Number 20 is again a pair of linear equations with two variables, the same variables, x and y. Could be other variables too, but they are by far the most famous and most used variables in all of math, x and y. Alright, so why do we want to use subtraction here? Let me see if I copied everything down correctly. Because here, negative 7y minus a negative 7y is the same thing as negative 7y plus a 7y, and they cancel themselves out. I'll show you in just a second why, but we're using subtraction. So 4x minus 9x, that's going to be negative 5x. Negative 7y minus a negative 7y is the same thing as, I'll write it over here. So negative 7y minus a negative 7y. So it's a negative 7y plus a 7y. And this is why they used subtraction. If they used addition here, it would be negative 7y plus a negative 7y, which is a negative 14y, which gives us nothing. So in this case, that's a 0, and that's a 0 as well. And then 39 minus 9, that's a 30. So divide both sides by negative 5 to get rid of the negative 5 on the left side, because it's being multiplied to the x, and we want to get rid of the entire thing, not just the 5. Simplifies to 1. 30 divided by negative 5, it's going to be negative because it's positive divided by negative. 6. And that's x. Now let's plug the x in into one of the original equations. Top one, I think. Again, I don't think that's going to make much of a difference as to which of the two you choose. So 4 times negative 6, that's negative 24, minus 7y equals to 39. Then we're going to add 24 to both sides. So 39 plus 24 is going to give us a 63. And then we are going to divide both sides by negative 7. And simplifies to 1. And in this case, y is going to equal to a negative, because positive divided by a negative is a negative, and 63 divided by 7 is a 9. So we got our solution. X is negative 6, y is a negative 9. And that's it for this problem, and that's it for the homework. All the other problems should be easier than the 4 that I did, especially numbers 10 and 20. Those were the more difficult ones of these sets. So you're responsible for 5 more problems for homework, and this is going to be due probably on the 21st of January, but I'll let you know for sure. So thank you very much for watching, and have a nice day.